Hello everyone. So we have completed the two chapters of chemistry, that is chemistry in everyday life and acid, base and salt. So today we are moving towards a new topic and a new branch, that is physics. Chapter number 12, electricity. Chapter number 12, electricity. Fine. So students, I hope you are familiar with the word electricity. It is said to be one of the most important source of energy in the 21st century. Fine. We can't live without electricity. Everything has been changed. We have been to the digitization, and just now in this state we can also see that due to this coronavirus we are doing the digital payment. We are doing each and everything digitization. Even the medical science is also on digital phones. Fine. So the thing is what? We cannot live without the word electricity. So today students, we are going to learn what is actually the word electricity stands for and what is the word electric current is. Fine. So my first question is, what is electricity? What is electricity? So electricity is a form of energy through which we can do some sort of work, etc. Fine. So here electricity is the presence of flow of electric charge. Fine. I repeat, electricity is the presence and the flow of electric charge. So there is something that is flowing from one point to another, or say from one terminal to another, and that is producing some sort of energies. Fine. And that kind of energy is helping us to move a fan, to on a refrigerator or an air condition, etc. Okay. So this is the presence and the flow of electric charge. It is the most important and the convenient flow of energy. It is of course convenient. Till 20th century, electricity was not invented, and though we were lacking towards the world. But in 21st century, today, electricity has been almost occupied each and every corners of the world. Fine. So it is said to be the most important and the convenient flow of energy. Okay. You might have also heard a word name as current. Say example, an air current, ocean current or a river current. Then what is the meaning of the word current? According to me student, anything that flows is known as current. Anything that flows is known as current. Fine. Then we need to study the next question arises, what is electric current? Fine. So let us see what is electric current. The flow of electric charge in a conductor is known as electric current. The flow of electric charge in a conductor is known as electric current. Fine. So when we can say that in a river if water is flowing, it is known as water current. The same way in a conductor, we will see just now what is conductor. But take an example over here that in a conductor, if an electric charge is flowing, and that is known as electric current. That is known as electric current. Fine. So here I told you about the word conductor. Okay. So what is conductor? Let's see what is conductor. There are three types of materials in generally around the world. They are said to be conductors, semiconductors and non-conductors. I hope you have also studied these points back in the junior standards. Fine, but we will revise it today also. The three forms or the three types of materials are conductors, semiconductors and non-conductors. So how we can define conductor or what is a form of conductor? So conductor is defined as in the element through which electricity can pass easily is known as conductor. It is also known as conducting materials. Fine. So the definition of the conductor is what? The element through which electricity can pass easily is known as electric current. The best example I can tell you is metals. As you all know, the transmission lines of the wires through which electricity is being carried at our home, offices, school, hospitals, etc. is through the metallic wires only. These metallic wires are generally made up of aluminium, copper or iron. As they are very good conductors of electricity, through them electricity is being reached to our home places. Fine. So what is conductor? I hope you have get it now. The element through which electricity passes easily is known as conductors. The best example is metals. Okay. So the next thing what we are going to study is semiconductors. Have you heard a word semiconductors, or we can also name it as semiconductors as metalloids? Okay. So what is semiconductor? The word here semi means for partial. Half yes, half no in a simple language. So the word semiconductor stands for the element through which electricity passes partially is known as semiconductor. That means there is a material or a type of element through which electricity is not passing 100%, but it is passing partially. That is 50% it will be passing at some points and 50% it won't be passing. So this is also known as semiconductors. The element through which electricity passes partially is known as semiconductor. The electricity through which electricity passes partially is known as semiconductors. What are the examples of semiconductors? The examples of semiconductors are silicon, germanium, polonium, etc. Fine. These silicon, germanium are the materials which are acting as metals at some places and non-metals at some places, and so we can call it as semiconductors or metalloids, semi-metals, etc. Fine. These semiconductors, where you can see this silicon and germanium. The best example is your mobile phone. Your mobile phone's circuits are completely made up of silicon and germanium, that is semiconductors. Just now, silicon and germanium are said to be the world's most widely used semiconductor. Fine. Silicon and germanium are said to be the world's most widely used semiconductors. Why we can say that the silicons are used in making mobile phones? You can see that our phone is containing some sort of electric charge. We call it as battery, through which our phone is working, or a laptop or a computer, anything is working. But when we are touching them, we cannot feel the electric shock or an electric current over here. So this is the reason where the semiconductor works. They know where to flow for the electric current and where not to. So they are semiconductors. I hope you are clear with the word semiconductors. Okay. And the last thing is, of course, the most common, that is also known as non-conductors. The last thing is non-conductors. Students, what are non-conductors? Of course, it will be opposite to that of conductors. Fine. The elements through which electricity cannot pass is known as non-conductors. The elements through which electricity cannot pass is known as non-conductors. The another name of non-conductor is also known as insulators. The another name of non-conductor is insulators. Fine. So this is insulator. What an insulator do? They will resist the flow of electric current. Resist stands for they will stop the flow of electric current. Fine. They will stop the flow of electric current. And so if there is any explosion or damage in the electric circuit, we cannot feel the electric shock, and so these non-conductors are used. The best examples are rubber, glass, wood, etc. You might have heard from our parents or elders one that we cannot close the switch or on the switch while we are wet, or we need to wear some rubber slippers or a wooden stick to use to stop the flowing electric circuit so that we cannot feel the electric shock, right? The same thing is over here, as they are here to resist the flow of electricity, and so they are known as non-conductors. The another name of non-conductors is insulators. Insulators. Fine, students, I hope you are clear with what is electric current, okay, electric circuit, three types of materials, non-conductors, semiconductors and conductors. You have also heard the word what is electric circuit. What is electric circuit? What is electric circuit? Listen students, electricity needs a medium to travel. electricity needs a medium to travel. That means if we are standing at one corner of the home or a room, and on the another corner there is a flow of electric charge due to some leakage, then we cannot feel the electric shock over there, because we need to touch them to feel the experience of the electricity. Okay, so remember this thing, electricity needs a medium to travel. The same thing, one more thing out of this book is magnetism. You are familiar with the word magnet. Fine, having two poles, north pole and south pole. These magnets won't need any medium to travel. They can even travel in the form of vacuum or free air, that is space. But this electricity needs a wire to travel from one terminal to another. Fine, and so the electric circuit was made. The electric circuit was made. Let us see what is electric circuit. A continuous and a closed path of an electric current. A continuous and a closed path of an electric current is known as circuit. How, out of what the electric circuit is made? It is made up of wires. It is made up of wires. It also contains switch, conductor, wires, etc. Let us draw a simple normal electric circuit and how it looks. Say suppose this is a switch. Here the bigger sign indicates the positive charge. The bigger sign indicates the positive charge. There is a lamp over here. Fine. And the circuit is coming down over here to here. And this is the negative charge. Remember students, this wire is an electric circuit. It is having a closed path. From where it is starting, it is completing over there. Yes. So a continuous and a closed path of an electric current is known as electric circuit. This positive and negative charge is showing the battery over here. Remember, battery is what you are using, and you will learn later what is battery, a cell. Okay, you have heard the word about a cell in your remote of the AC or the remote of the TVs. Finding many type of electrical toys, or we are also using the batteries in the cars or in a mobile phone. That is the most common example of battery. So they are like this. So the electric charge which is flowing over here, it starts from positive charge, goes over to the here, then here. So when it passes through this, the bulb will light up. The bulb will light up. Okay. So when the bulb lights up, and again the electric current goes to the negative terminal. So remember student, it starts from a positive and ends at a negative terminal in the electric circuit. So you can know over here what is electric circuit. Fine. I have written over here, it contains switch, a conducting wire, etc. Okay, so this is switch. Here you can draw a switch over here. Here it is known as key. Okay, so if you will on the switch, then these wires will be connected. If you will off the switch, then these wires are disconnected. So here you can see that how the simple electric circuit board works, or how the electricity works. Okay, so this was what we can say an electric circuit. As I told you earlier, what is electric? Electricity needs a medium to travel. Electricity needs a medium to travel. It can go from one place to another, or from positive terminal towards the negative terminal. Let us see what is the definition of electric current. Now I told you over here what is electric current. Find the flow of electric charge in a conductor is known as electric current. But here we are having the detailed definition of electric current. The detailed definition of electric current. Let us see. The amount of electric charge flowing through a particular area in definite interval of time is known as electric current. I repeat, this is said to be one of the most important topics of this chapter, so please pay attention. Fine. The amount of electric charge flowing through a particular area in a unit time is known as electric current. Fine. So what amount of electric charge is passing in what time, in how much area is known as electric current. Find the number of electric charge passing through any surface area in some definite interval of time is known as electric current. It is known as electric current. So students, I hope you understand what is electric current. Okay, but how electricity flows, or what is there inside an atom through which the electricity is being flowing? So electrons, here the word electrons, I hope you are familiar with the word electrons, as the atom contains a nucleus. Inside nucleus we are having two things, that is proton and a neutron, and in surrounding of all there is electrons which are responsible for the flow of electric current. So over here please pay attention that electrons are responsible for the flow of electric current. If they are asking in the exam, you need to write this, that yes, electrons are responsible for the flow of electric current. As I told you earlier, electricity always starts from positive terminal, that they will go from here. If you are giving on the switch, and then it goes from here and ends over here. So it always starts from positive terminal and ends at negative terminal. Here you cannot see that what happens. So it starts from positive ends and ends at the negative terminal in an electricity. Okay. So now we will see the general formula. So what is the general formula of electric current? The general formula of electric current is I is equals to Q upon T. Let's see in detail what is I, what is Q and what is T. You need to write this general formula, that is I is equals to Q upon T. What is I? Here I is stated as electric current. I is stated as electric current as I have written over here. So here we told that the amount of electric charge. Now what is electric charge? That is Q. That is Q. So I is equals to Q upon T. Fine. I is equals to Q upon T. Here the word I am repeating, I is equals to electric current. I is equals to electric current. Q is the electric charge and T is the time taken. And T is the time taken. So I becomes what? I is equals to Q upon T. Now how these words came? How did they invent that what is known as electric current or what is electric charge? So there were few scientists, or we can say physicists, who developed these things that are known as electric current, the word electric charge and the time. You know the basic systems of the world. Time is always calculated in seconds. Time is always calculated in seconds. Fine. So time is always calculated in seconds. We need to know the standard units through which we can measure certain amount of things. Okay. So the SI unit stands for Standard International Units, and the Standard International Unit of an electric current is ampere, denoted as capital A. In your nearby home or nearby households, you can see various types of electrical appliances in which it may be written that 5 ampere, 15 ampere. Just now the digitization, the fast charging connectivity has came. There you can see that the 15 ampere fast charger or say the 5 ampere fast charger. So ampere is the unit through which it is being denoted that what amount of electric current is flowing. For a better example, I can say you, if I will tell you that go and bring 1 kg of sugar, then 1 kg is the unit or the amount of sugar you will go and bring. So that is known as kg is the standard unit of mass, whereas the ampere is the standard unit of electric current. Ampere is the standard unit of electric current. Fine. I hope you are clear with this. The next thing is electric charge, that is Q. Yes, one more thing. Why I named this electric current as ampere? Because the electric current was invented by a scientist named Andrew Murray Ampere. I repeat, electric current was invented by a scientist named Andrew Murray Ampere, and so the SI unit was named on him, that is ampere. Fine. So ampere is always denoted as capital A. Ampere is always denoted as capital A. Next thing was electric charge. What is electric charge? Electric charge is the unit which is flowing. It is the amount itself that is flowing, and that was invented by a scientist named Coulomb, and so on, that we name as C. So wherever in the numericals asked in the examinations, if you can see that what is C, then the C will be the amount of electric charge that is flowing from one point to another. Okay. And the next is, as common, time is equals to seconds. Time is equals to seconds. Fine. So this was the electric current. Here you can see that the general formula of electric current is I is equals to Q upon T. I is equals to Q upon T. So the same way you can also make the formula of ampere, that is ampere is equals to Coulomb upon seconds. Ampere is equals to Coulomb upon seconds. Fine. So this is what we did for the electric current. The general formula for electric current is I is equals to Q upon T, and ampere is equals to Coulomb upon seconds. But still, let us see some detailed thing about ampere. Fine. Now, as I told you that ampere is the unit through which electricity is passing, or electric current is passing, then you can say that 1 milliampere is 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. Here, students, milli is the small unit of ampere, that is of 1 ampere it will be 1000 part. So, of one thing you need to make 1000 parts, so that is can be said to be the smallest unit of ampere. So that is 1 milliampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. 1 milliampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. And one more unit I am having smaller than milliampere, and that is 1 microampere. The sign of a U like structure stands for microampere. The sign of this looks like U is microampere, and that is 10th lakh part of 1 ampere. That is 10th lakh part. So what we will write? 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. 10 raised to minus 6 ampere is the 10th lakh part of the 1 ampere, and 1 milliampere, that will be 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. Fine. So the next thing is, what amount of electric charge this Coulomb is carrying, or what amount of electric current I am having. So we will see over here. In 1 Coulomb of electric charge, normally 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons are present. So you can see that how tiny this thing contains so much amount. Fine. So 1 Coulomb of electric charge contains 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. Fine. Then if I question you a thing, that what is the value of electron? What is the value of electron? Then we can say that 1 electron value is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 Coulomb. Remember students, 1 electron is equals to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 Coulomb. Okay, and 1 Coulomb electric charge is containing 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons, whereas 1 electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus, let's say, 19 charge. So these are the general forms of electrons. This value always remains constant. These things won't change. Fine. The normal value of 1 electron is always said to be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 Coulomb, and 1 Coulomb of electric charge is always containing 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. Fine. So this is the detailed form of electric current. This is the detailed form of electric current. Now, as I told you that you can calculate the electric current flowing, that how much amount of electric current is flowing or what amount of electric current is flowing, then we are having an instrument through which we can measure electricity. So, the instrument through which electricity can be measured or the electric current can be measured is known as ammeter. It is known as ammeter. meter. So ammeter is the instrument where electric current can be measured. Fine. So the instrument through which an electric current can be measured is known as ammeter. I repeat, the element through which electric current can be measured is known as ammeter. Okay. One more thing. What if I only want to check that either the electricity is passing or not? Suppose I don't want to calculate this formula, that is I is equals to Q upon T, or I don't want to know that how much ampere or coulomb per second it is flowing. Then I only need to check whether the electricity is flowing or not. Okay. So there is also an instrument through which you can only measure the presence of electricity, either yes or no. If electricity is passing, then it will be yes, and electricity is not passing, then no. And it is also known as galvanometer. It is also known as galvanometer, through which you can check the presence of electricity. One of the most basic example of galvanometer is tester. You have heard about the word tester, in which you will plug holes and it will light on the end of this, and the tester is the best example of galvanometer. So tester is the best example of galvanometer. I hope you have understand this. I repeat, 1 milliampere is the 1000 part of 1 ampere. So 1 milliampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. 1 microampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. So 1 microampere is equals to 10 raised to minus 6, that is 10 lakh part of 1 ampere. Okay. 1 coulomb of electric charge contains almost 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. It contains 6 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. And what is the value of 1 electron? Here, values of 1 electron, 1 E is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Remember, the value of electron is always negative. The values of electron is always negative. Okay. I repeat one more time, ampere is equals to coulomb upon second. Ampere is equals to coulomb upon second. And the general formula will be I is equals to Q upon T. This is the definition you need to write in the homework. The amount of electric charge flowing through a particular area in a unit time is known as electric current. Remember student, in an electricity always starts from a positive terminal and ends at negative terminal. There are three types of materials: conductors, non-conductors and semiconductors. Anything that flows is known as electric current. Fine. So this was all for today. You need to write a short note on electric current as your homework because it might be helpful for your exams, and the whole thing written over here will be for what? A 1 mark question, that is the size of ampere, coulomb, electrons. The meter, that is ammeter, is used to measure the values of electric current, and galvanometer to check the presence of electric current. Fine. Here I have written the SI units. Okay. We will carry on from the next lecture. Thank you.